You know, we've all been talking about BYD, Tesla, the big rivalry between the two, how many sales they're getting. Oh, look at BYD sales are amazing. Look what BYD's doing worldwide. But we haven't been talking about, well, the dark horse of China. I mean, the true dark horse of China. You know what? This company already has thousands of dealerships around the world. And it's growing at an incredible pace. Its EV sales are growing at a staggering pace and no one's even really noticing. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Geely. That's who it is, guys. Geely EV sales have risen 46% this year versus last year. And they are taking significant market share. I mean, have a look at China's EV market, right? In April of 2024, the most recent data we have, BYD took 37.5% market share. But that's a combination of plug-in hybrids and EVs. So that number, it's great, but it's not quite as, well, in my opinion, it's not quite what it looks like, just because so many of those vehicles are technically internal combustion. Second place was Geely with 7.3%. And the predominant figure with those Geely vehicles is they are fully electric. Not all of them, but most of them are. So Geely is rising up the sales charts really, really quickly. And they're doing it with the best technology. I mean, guys, Zeekr 001, Zeekr 009, I mean, they are unbelievable. What other vehicles that you know of that are being sold internationally have Catel's new chill-in battery, right? They don't have it. There's none. Only Zeekr does. I know the Li Auto, their new van, has it as well, but that's it. Other than that, Zeekr is it, and they're a global brand. I mean, they have charging speeds of 550 kilowatt confirmed in the real world. I've actually seen videos showing it, their vehicles charging at those speeds. I mean, we're looking at vehicles, the value for money from some of Geely's electric cars and the quality as well, it's at a different level. I think it's at a level where you've got to say to yourself, there's a reason why Geely's sales are rising at a rapid pace. Not just the fact that, yeah, they have Polestar, Volvo, Zeekr, Lincoln Co., Lotus, I mean, the brand list is just, it's a bit insane. And I think it's too many brands. But the point is, it's not really about the brands. It's about the product. Now, while it's true that BYD is continuing to dominate China's new energy vehicle market, Geely is rising up the ranks. But a lot of Geely's market share, a lot of their sales are coming from outside of China, making them a more profitable company. On unit sales, for each unit sold, Geely makes a much higher profit than BYD. BYD's retail sales of passenger EVs in China totaled 254,000 units in April, giving it the #1 spot in the country. However, Geely came in second place. Now, it should be pointed out that Tesla was in second place the month before. Tesla sales are a little bit more cyclical, though, than Geely in terms of the way that Tesla sell and export their vehicles. Now, looking at the top 5 biggest sellers of EVs worldwide, Tesla was #1 for the first quarter of the year with 19% global market share. That was in comparison to 23.6% market share the previous year. BYD, they sold 300,000 EVs in the first quarter. That's not plug-in hybrids, that's just EVs alone. That's 14.8% global market share versus 14.7% last year. So their market share, BYD's, only grew by 0.1%. Now, that doesn't mean they're not doing well, they really are. But it gives you some context on just what Geely have done. Now, Geely sold 149,647 vehicles. Only half that of BYD. But they're growing their EV market share at a faster pace. They went from 5.7% market share last year to 7.4% this year. So they grew nearly 2%, whereas BYD grew 0.1% in their market share. Now, I'm not trying to give an example here to say BYD sales weren't great. They're fantastic. I mean, Tesla, BYD, and Geely, they're all smashing it. I love the products they're making. They're great. If you bought a car from BYD or Tesla or a Geely EV, I wouldn't criticize you. I'd say, you know what? All the EVs they make, well, not all of them, but most of them are very, very good. And you're not going to go wrong. But still, no one's talking about Geely Volvo, and they should be. because these guys just had an IPO. Zeekr just had an IPO in New York. And the stock price has gone up a lot more than what people expected. It's hit $24. Now, this is not Lucid stock. This is not Nikola. This is not some dodgy company, Alpha Motors, trying to rip you off and trying to get your money and suck you in on a product that isn't real. Or Hydrogen Dreams, or saying they're going to be a new company, they're going to revolutionize the world. This is a company who are established. This is a company making product that sells and works, and we know it does. And if you invested in Zeekr right now, I would not criticize you. I would not be saying you're going to lose your money. I said that for Lucid. I said that for Rivian. I would not be saying be very careful. I'd be saying, you know what? That might have been a savvy investment. In fourth place worldwide was SAIC, SAIC. And that includes, though, their joint venture partnership. So it's a bit murky here. And whilst SAIC did sell 149,300, nearly the same number as Geely, they did not grow their market share worldwide at all. In fact, it shrunk. They went from 7.4% last year worldwide to 7.3% this year. And I don't count these vehicles. Some of them I do. Yes, SAIC owns some of the cars they sell. SAIC owns MG 100%. I'd count every single MG in this list, but I know a lot of these are the tri-venture between General Motors, Wuling, and SAIC, meaning SAIC only owns 33% of that joint venture. SAIC is making exactly nothing on those vehicles. None of them make any profit. We all know that. Wuling vehicles, those EVs made by that joint venture, they make nothing. The only money they make is the tax credit from the Chinese government. So they're making a couple $100 on each of those vehicles, and it's a tri-venture, meaning, let's say they make $200. I've done a video on this, by the way, guys, actually showing you the numbers that were the profit on those vehicles. It's almost nothing. But let's say that they have a tri-venture there and 33%. What's 33% of $200? They're making $66 on each car, right? If they even make a profit now, which I don't know if they do anymore. But the point is to say that for a lot of these EVs that SAIC is selling, not all of them, but a lot of them, they don't even own half the company. I don't know how you can really count that. Anyhow, fifth place was the Volkswagen Group. The same thing applies to them as what applies to SAIC. In fact, the Volkswagen Group sold 136,949 vehicles and lost quite a bit of market share. They went from 7.5% last year to 6.7% this year. I do not see the Volkswagen Group catching up anytime soon to Geely, BYD, or Tesla. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.